Young men from Pi Kappa Phi stood guard over the American flag during a protest. Their actions reminded me why teaching boys true masculine values remains significant today. Media often shows fathers as bumbling fools like Homer Simpson and Al Bundy. My trip of raising boys has taught me masculinity goes nowhere near these shallow stereotypes. My first son's birth changed everything. I found that there was a deeper meaning to raising boys into men. They need daily lessons about sacrifice, principle, and respect. Traditional masculine roles shaped my son's understanding of his place in the world. He learned the importance of being a provider and protector. Let me share my real-life insights as a boy mom in this piece. We'll talk about building early trust and helping teens grow. A mother's unique role helps shape her son's trip into manhood. The early years, building trust and security. My son's early years taught me something profound about child development. A baby's brain grows most during infancy, and this is when they form their strongest bonds. These early connections are the foundations for everything that follows. Every response to their cries, every moment of eye contact during feeding, and all our playful moments helped wire their developing brains for security and trust, establishing a strong mother-son bond. The first thing I found was that building a secure attachment didn't need grand gestures. It needed consistent care. Babies learn to trust when someone meets their needs positively and reliably. Simple daily acts of nurturing, cuddling, talking, singing, and reading built our connection and helped their brains develop. My sons experienced their world through me first. Research shows that without positive experiences during these vital periods, the brain might lose neural pathways needed for normal human experiences. Scientists call this the use it or lose it principle. Studies also show that children who don't form secure bonds with their main caregiver might struggle to build healthy relationships later in life. A secure attachment showed up in my boys through looking back for reassurance during exploration, seeking comfort from me during distress, using me as a safe base from which to venture out. They started exploring more, and I stayed close as their safe base. This helped them trust that I would support and protect them. Their confidence to explore their world grew from this security, creating a safe space for exploration. My boys needed both physical safety and emotional security. I learned to find the right balance between protection and exploration. Boys naturally explore and take risks. Instead of always saying no, I created spaces where they could discover things safely. Regular routines worked well. Set bedtimes and meal times gave my son stability and made them feel secure in their environment. My presence during important moments, bedtime, changes in routine, or tough situations, built more trust between us. Boys learn differently, so I arranged our home to support hands-on learning. A boy-friendly space helps develop the whole child through multiple senses and lets children control their learning. My sons loved open-ended toys that let them use their hands and imagination. So I gave them blocks, toys for pretend play, and items they could touch and move to learn math, engineering, words, and simple concepts. Setting the foundation for healthy masculinity. Healthy masculinity starts taking shape earlier than most people think. Parents often start pushing manliness onto baby boys right from birth. But research shows babies don't have gendered behaviors. Most baby boys actually show traits our society calls feminine. Terrence Real explains it well. Little boys and little girls start off equally emotional, expressive, and dependent, equally desirous of physical affection. At the youngest ages, both boys and girls are more like a stereotypical girl. If any differences exist, little boys are, in fact, slightly more sensitive and expressive than little girls. Studies show that from the moment of birth, boys are spoken to less than girls, comforted less, nurtured less. I chose a different path. My sons could express any emotion in a safe space without fear of judgment. I refused to limit my boys' emotional growth from the start. This helped build their emotional intelligence. Instead of saying, "Big boys don't cry," I would say it's okay to get upset. It's not okay to take it out on other people. These early years meant more than keeping my sons fed and safe. They shaped everything that followed. Through steady care, safe spaces to explore, and support for emotional expression, I built a secure foundation for them to grow into confident, emotionally healthy men. Elementary adventures, guiding energy and curiosity. My son's elementary years taught me that raising boys is like trying to control a lightning bolt. The experience proved both exhilarating and unpredictable. These precious years brought imagination, laughter, snuggles, and endless questions. They created special bonding moments that I treasure deeply now, channeling boundless energy constructively. Elementary-aged boys seem to have unlimited energy reserves. My son's mischievous behavior or excessive wrestling usually meant they needed an appropriate outlet. This wasn't about bad behavior, they just needed better energy management. Kids naturally have higher energy because they use more of their aerobic metabolism compared to adults. Boys need this energy directed constructively, not suppressed. A specialist pointed out, if we can channel these traits into constructive activities, boys will learn to view them as positive parts of who they are. They will learn to control their aggression, energy, and movements. Several strategies help me direct their endless vitality. Outdoor exploration. Research shows that kids who play outside become happier, smarter, more attentive, and less anxious than those who stay indoors. Natural spaces give them freedom to release energy. Structured physical activities. Sports helped my boys build strong bodies while they developed communication skills and learned to respect teammates and coaches. Meaningful responsibilities. Age-appropriate household tasks gave them purpose and made them feel valued. They learned accountability while putting their energy into productive work. Running my most energetic son around the garden for 30 minutes before school improved his focus in class remarkably. This simple morning routine proved what experts say. Regular physical activity helps elementary boys prepare their bodies for learning. Nurturing curiosity and learning. Elementary years showed me that curiosity drives learning. One childhood expert notes, curiosity is the desire to learn. It is an eagerness to explore, discover, and figure things out. Supporting this natural inquisitiveness mattered more than pushing for academic achievement. My approach focused beyond traditional academics. We followed my son's natural interests down unexpected learning paths. My oldest fascination with insects led us to entomology books, yard exploration with magnifying glasses, and terrarium building. He absorbed science concepts, vocabulary, and observational skills without realizing it. Our home's Curiosity Corner featured interesting objects, maps, and rotating books that sparked spontaneous learning. Open-ended questions like, what do you think would happen if? Or what do you notice? During play stimulated deeper thinking than direct instruction. My own curiosity became the best teaching tool. A specialist advises, if you truly want to nurture your kids' curiosity, model it. Nurture your own curiosity. Kids may not do what we say, but they definitely mimic what we do. Teaching respect through everyday interactions. Daily interactions during elementary years created perfect moments to teach respect. Respect has two meanings: admiration earned through abilities or achievements, and regard for others' feelings, wishes, and rights. This difference proved vital in teaching my boys how to direct relationships. Clear expectations worked better than vague instructions about showing respect. My sons learned through gentle corrections. A calm, please try again, helped them restate their thoughts more appropriately. These consistent small corrections shaped their understanding of respectful communication. Teaching the difference between questioning and disrespect became essential. Respect didn't mean blind obedience. I valued my son's opinions while setting appropriate boundaries. Discussing respect before specific situations made the concept easier to understand. Children feel more inclined to show respect in environments where they feel valued. Building a home where my sons could express their thoughts and feelings created mutual respect naturally. A parenting expert states, if we build an environment where children feel valued and their opinions are heard, we are already building the foundation of respect. Elementary years shaped more than just a path to adolescence. These formative moments helped energy find purpose, curiosity grow into knowledge, and daily interactions teach lasting lessons about treating others with dignity. Navigating the tween years, independence, and responsibility. My boys' transition into their tween years changed our home's dynamics. Sweet, compliant children who once hung on my every word became young men who tested boundaries and wanted independence. This phase between ages 9 to 13 brought new challenges that needed a careful mix of guidance and freedom. Balancing freedom with boundaries. Boundaries weren't just limits. They created frameworks that gave my sons security and freedom. Clear boundaries made a safe space for my tweens to explore their independence. My role moved from watching over them to becoming their guide. Boundaries are a part of God's created order for life. Helping all of us grow became my North Star. My sons needed to know rules existed to protect them while they developed decision-making skills. The right balance was hard to strike. Too much freedom could lead to bad choices, while too many rules might stop them from developing vital life skills. Safety and health rules stayed firm, but other areas became more flexible. My sons took part in setting some boundaries. They felt more respected than controlled when I explained the reasons behind rules and let them help decide certain things. This team approach built trust and taught responsibility, introducing meaningful responsibilities. The tween years gave us a perfect chance to add more important tasks. I slowly raised my expectations about household work, personal organization, and being accountable. My sons' responsibilities grew to include managing their homework schedules, doing basic laundry and organizing their rooms, helping with family meals, taking care of pets without reminders, managing small allowances. Not every task got a warm welcome, but beneath their occasional complaints, I saw their confidence grow. When teens are trusted with certain freedoms, their self-esteem grows, which showed more as they got older. Actions had consequences. Clear and fair consequences helped my sons understand cause and effect when they broke rules or ignored responsibilities. Car keys later became a powerful tool that showed how privileges linked directly to showing responsibility. Preparing for adolescent changes. Tween years laid groundwork for bigger teenage changes ahead. My sons and I started talking about puberty and physical changes around ages 10 to 11. These weren't just one-off conversations, but ongoing talks that grew with them. Some talks felt uncomfortable, but my sons needed accurate information from me instead of questionable details from friends or media. They learned that puberty's timing varies for everyone. Early or late bloomers, their development was normal. We talked about emotional changes too. I confirmed their feelings while teaching them healthy ways to cope. Research shows these years mark big changes in brain development, especially in areas that control behavior and emotions. These discussions mattered. Tween years bridge childhood and adolescence. This time lets kids build independence while parents guide them. Clear boundaries, real responsibilities, and honest talks about upcoming changes built a strong foundation for their teenage years. The teenage transformation, letting go while staying connected. My boys' teenage years brought a fundamental change to my parenting. This phase needed a completely new approach. Parents tend to show less warmth, spend less time, and become stricter with discipline during these years, right when teens need us most. I found that positive parenting during adolescence builds the foundation for a close relationship with our adult children. Adapting communication styles. My sons no longer shared every detail of their day. I learned that talking with teenagers needs patience and the right approach. My teenage sons opened up more when I stopped asking direct questions and just listened. Teens want respect and adult treatment, not an interrogation. Research shows teens talk more when they don't feel forced to share. Instead of bombarding them with questions after school, I created natural moments to chat. We talked during car rides, while working on projects, or sharing late-night snacks in our quiet house. Keeping warmth and open dialogue was tough, but worth it. Research shows teens who receive more parental warmth in their early teens feel closer to their parents in their 20s. Simple, "I love you" messages and casual hugs made lasting impacts on our relationship. Supporting identity formation. The teenage years are a vital period for developing self-identity, personal goals, commitments, and mental well-being. I watched my sons try different identities, exploring various roles, interests, and ways to express themselves. Teens need independence, but also want stronger connections with friends. Their contradictory behavior confused me until I realized identity development was their main task. My sons weren't pushing me away, they were discovering themselves. Building identity means combining different experiences, values, and relationships into who you are. I learned to accept this process rather than fight it. Teens with strong identities make better life choices. My best contribution was giving them a safe space to explore while keeping our values consistent. My sons developed authentic identities instead of just rebelling or following peers when they knew they could test ideas without harsh judgment. Maintaining influence as peer relationships grow. My biggest surprise was that my influence stayed strong even as friends became more important, just differently. Research confirms parents still substantially affect teenage decisions. About 47% of teens say parents affect their decisions about sex more than friends do. Influence replaced control as the key approach. One researcher notes, just because parents have less influence with the adolescent than with the child doesn't mean they have none. The quality of our relationship became my source of influence rather than authority. Good friendships during teenage years lead to better life satisfaction and mental health. Studies show positive parent influence can overcome negative peer pressure. This helped me see friendships as adding to my parenting rather than competing with it. I learned to watch my son's activities without being too intrusive. Good monitoring depends on teens sharing information and parents asking appropriately. It works better with a strong relationship. My sons shared more about their lives when they trusted me to respect their growing independence. Raising teenage boys taught me that letting go doesn't mean losing connection. By changing how we talked, supporting their identity growth, and staying influential through strong relationships, I helped guide my sons through their most transformative years. The secret wasn't holding on tighter, it was knowing when to adjust my grip. A mother's unique role in raising boys to men. My boy's journey from childhood to manhood taught me about a mother's unique role in raising sons. This experience showed me how maternal influence shapes boys differently than a father's guidance. The path revealed countless insights that helped me understand my special place in their development. The power of a mother's perspective. Watching my boys grow, I realized my female viewpoint gave them something special they couldn't find elsewhere. Research shows boys who stay close to their mothers often grow into more caring and expressive men. This fact challenges the myth that single mothers harm their sons' development. The truth is that many men with strong maternal bonds develop richer emotional lives and more balanced masculine identities. My sons learned about womanhood through our daily life together. They didn't just hear about it, they lived it. This direct experience helped them understand and relate better to women. Research confirms that a mother's guidance can reshape how boys approach their future relationships. Modeling healthy relationships with women. My biggest impact came from showing them what healthy relationships look like. Kids learn how to treat others by watching their parents. The way I interacted with people became their blueprint for future relationships. I made sure to communicate with respect. This meant using I statements, listening carefully, and staying calm during disagreements. I showed them how to recognize others' feelings through empathy. When I messed up, I owned it and apologized, no excuses. When to step back and when to step in. Finding the right balance between helping and letting go was tough, but vital. I learned that stepping back often made my sons stronger than jumping in to help. One expert puts it well, don't tell them how to live their lives. Tell them when they're home, before they leave. Here's what worked for me. I chose my battles, only stepping in when talking things through didn't work. Zero tolerance for harmful behaviors stayed firm. I became someone they could talk to, not someone who fixed everything. Giving them space to grow helped my sons take charge of their lives and build essential skills. This didn't mean cutting ties. I shifted from being their director to their consultant. Like a lighthouse, I stayed steady on shore while they learned to sail through life's challenges on their own. Partnering with male role models. Completing the picture. My experience as a mother taught me that raising boys needs a village, especially when you have strong male influences. Nearly 1/4 of America's children live in mother-only families, and among these, 35% never see their father. This reality shows why we need to consider cultivating male role models to help boys develop. Working with fathers, uncles, and grandfathers. Extended family males make unique contributions to children's development. My son's father stayed involved in their lives, and I supported that relationship instead of competing with it. Family works best as a team, and fathers play a vital leadership role. Uncles and grandfathers often become powerful male figures in boys' lives. These relationships work through simple yet effective ways. They represent steady, kinship male presence that stays committed. My sons built relationships with their grandfather and uncles that showed them different points of view than I could give alone. Research supports this. Extended family males such as uncles and grandfathers can and should be one of a child's most valuable resources. Finding mentors when biological fathers aren't present. Boys need male mentors when biological fathers aren't around. Organizations like No Longer Fatherless help through structured mentoring with one-to-one weekly relationships, life skill classes, and group events. These bonds can improve social behaviors, school performance, and decision-making dramatically. Finding male role models needs strategy and purpose. My approach included asking male relatives to become more involved, looking for male teachers and coaches, joining faith communities with potential mentors, enrolling in programs like Big Brothers, creating opportunities for male bonding. Boys gain something special through male bonding. One educator noted, without feeling the need to choose between female and male relationships, without the pull of pairing off into couples, boys can develop meaningful and lasting relationships with their same-gender peers. My sons needed chances to see healthy male relationships grow. They went fishing with uncles and played sports with male coaches. These interactions showed them men supporting each other. Young men learn valuable lessons when they spend time together and see authentic male bonding that they can't find elsewhere. Conclusion: boys need thoughtful guidance at every developmental stage to become confident, emotionally healthy men. My experience as a parent showed me that true masculinity includes nowhere near what society's stereotypes suggest. Building early trust, directing endless energy, and staying connected during teenage years helped develop my son's character, though it wasn't always easy. Mothers bring unique views that help shape boys' understanding of relationships and emotional intelligence. My sons benefited greatly from positive male role models who showed them different examples of healthy masculinity. Success didn't come from perfect strategies, but from steady love, clear boundaries, and well-thought-out decisions that supported their growing independence. My son's development guided my parenting style, while our core connection remained strong. This experience taught me that raising boys needs a careful mix of protection and freedom, care and independence, guidance and trust. Small moments and daily decisions shape tomorrow's men who will protect, provide, and lead with strong principles.